Walk-on Indians picked up a Week 7 victory over Osage 20-8 on the road last week. Chatting about it with head coach Chad Beermann. And Chad, big win for your squad. How'd you get it done?
Oh, we went back and forth for most of the first quarter. Not a whole lot happened. Both teams were kind of figuring out what was going on. They scored about midway through the second quarter. They actually blocked a punt, and our defense made a stop, which is something we hadn't done earlier in the season. We were able to get a stop this time with bad field position, and but they did have a drive that went down, scored, and we got the ball back, and then went down and put it in with about 12 seconds, I think, to go in the half. So we went into halftime tied up 8-all. Same kind of thing happened third quarter. We got the ball to start with, didn't do a whole lot with it, kind of exchanged field position, and then we had a drive going at the end of the third and scored, I think, basically first play of the fourth quarter. Got a stop, got the ball back, went down and scored again. Got another stop, and with about a minute and a half, I think we got the ball back and uh, took a knee to see what they would do if they would. They had all three timeouts. They took their timeouts. Then we ran a play, a couple of plays, and actually Jackson broke off a long run, got down to about the 2 yard line and took a knee, and then we just knelt out the clock after that.
And defensively, a heck of an effort from your squad. You mentioned you got that key stop after the block punt in the first half, but holding a Osage team with a decent amount of playmakers to 181 yards total offense and just 8 points, and also getting a takeaway is a pretty good effort. What about your defense made it a special night last week?
I did think it was one of our better defensive efforts. Our secondary matched up well with the receivers. We got Jack got one pick, O'Neill, and I thought we might be able to get a couple more, but we broke up some passes that were in the air. So we did a good job of just responding, and we got decent pressure. We got a couple sacks, but I thought that was a big part of it because their offense, they get a lot of chunk plays, putting the ball up in the air, and so we were able to take that away and then play with them up front. I mean, they did move the ball, and they've got some big, strong kids. But we were able to do just enough stopping the running game, and then, like I said, had some success breaking up passes, and that set us up pretty well. And then again, we were able to grind out the clock there. Basically, from halfway through the third quarter to the fourth, we probably had time possession big in our favor, which is also really essentially a defensive statistic.
And another great night for Jackson Brinkman, 166 yards on the ground, 93 yards passing, and a couple of touchdowns. He seemingly, on the stat sheet at the very least, gets better in and week out. What is the film saying about Jackson's play?
I would say that's probably correct. He's figuring things out. We dropped probably two or three passes that he threw. Some of them were little quick screens, but at least one downfield that we didn't hold on to. And he's learning. He's learning to read defenses. He's at the part right now where he can see what Coach Heeman tells him to look for, and uh, and does a pretty good job of that. And then obviously the running has been a real benefit. I think we knew he would be decent running the ball, but he's improved as the year went on, and I think he's exceeded our expectations for him as far as running the ball.
And when the efforts to play at least a ninth football game, you guys are in the postseason now, but you still have a heck of a lot on the line here in week number 9 as you travel to New Hampton. Is that kind of a best case scenario?
It is. I mean, when we lost to NFV to open the district play, we weren't sure where we were going to end up, but the kids responded well and got us back into this. I mean, you got four teams right now that are, we know we're all in the playoffs, but where are we going to be? Are we going to be at home? Are we going to, so who's going to be district champion? That all is going to get sorted. NFV and Crestwood play Thursday night, I believe, and then we play Friday night. And so we'll know a lot of the picture when we kick off Friday night, but there'll still be stuff to be decided regardless of the outcome of Thursday's game.
And what do you credit that response to coming back after that District 1 loss? What do you credit that to?
I think the kids stayed together. I mean, that's like you kind of, when things aren't going the way that you'd hope things, we were sitting at 1-3 basically. And the kids can start to turn on each other. And that's always, I mean, you see that a lot. but they stayed together, and our coaching staff has been around a while. This is not the first team that has had some struggles that we've dealt with, um, but that's a choice that you have, and the kids chose to stay together and continue to work, and they've done that and continue to improve. We've seen them week by week just getting better.
And this week, basically a chance to win a district title as you go over to New Hampton. This New Hampton squad was slow out of the gate, but obviously a healthy Braden McShane makes a big difference for this Chickasaw squad. What are you seeing as you watch New Hampton on film?
Well, they just look like a different team when they break the huddle with him on the field now compared to some of this. We had seen some of their earlier films against teams that we were scouting, and they didn't just, they didn't look crisp, didn't look enthusiastic. And with him on the field now, the line breaks the huddle and they sprint to the line. And obviously he makes plays, but I think he kind of is a starter for the whole system there as far as getting everybody else going too.
All right, Coach. Hopefully things break your way this week. Keep your kids healthy. We wish best of luck.
All right, thank you.
Chad Beermann, head coach of the Walk-On Indians at New Hampton here in week number 8.